non-stop, full throttle, nuts to butts. It's done by Studio Trigger, and I think it is probably their best work so far. It is breathtaking, just a gorgeous, beautiful show. A lot of passion went into this, and it really paid off. They went fucking turbo mode on this one. They dialed this shit up to the next level. I was blown away by it. I think everything fit super well. I even got similar vibes in this show as I did to Redline, which I think is one of the best animated movies ever made. There's just moments in this show where I was like, damn, feel like I'm watching Redline again for the first time, which is just an amazing feeling. One of the best feelings a human being can experience, true euphoria. When you watch Redline, it becomes like the proudest moment of your life, up there with like graduating college or getting married. It's just such a good movie. Highly recommend checking it out, but I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, there were times in this show where I was like, wow, they're up there with some of the best when it comes to animation, especially when it comes to the action. They didn't pull any punches. It's hyper violent, super gory, over the top. Everyone like blows up. There's ribs flying, there's intestines going all over the place, intestines flying around, his poop's falling out the back end, you know, like, it goes hard. It doesn't hold anything back, and I love that shit. That hyper-violent action is always just a guilty pleasure of mine. It leads to really goofy, over-the-top moments that I think are just always fun, and they do it wonderfully here. And since it's set in the cyberpunk universe, the action's pretty creative since everyone's got all kinds of implants and all kinds of crazy cybernetic augments that let them do wild shit. So it's always flashy and it's always great. The action shines, and really everything shines here because they clearly put a lot of work into every little excruciating detail of this universe. I can't praise the visuals enough here. But now let me briefly pop this show's dick out of my mouth. This is where I have a few complaints. It's story and writing. I don't think the story's bad by any means. In fact, I actually really like the story and the direction. But I feel like there was a lot they wanted to tell and only a short time to tell it. It's a 10-episode series, which is pretty normal length, but I really feel like they wanted something bigger, so they condensed all of these massive story beats into really small chunks. So, for example, in episode 1, we learn a lot of information about the main character and his relationship to his mom. But we learn all of that information through like maybe 2 minutes of just exposition dump, like constantly. So it leads to a lot of things just kind of falling flat because they got there so quickly without really building up to these things. I'm not going to give spoilers, so I'm not going to go too deep into examples, but I wanted to just highlight the character's relationship to his mother right away because so much happens in such a short amount of time in just episode 1 that it's hard to really care. You know, you just kind of brush it off like, oh, well, I really didn't care at all because they didn't make me care. And there's just times where the writing's kind of silly, where they're having a conversation and it's just so stiff, like, Mom, I don't really want to go to school. She's like, you know I want you to go to school for a better life. It's why I'm working so hard for you, David. It's why I'm working these jobs to put money on the table to send you to that very prestigious academy. And it's why I'm never home, David. It's why you never see me at home, because you and I, we're not bonding enough because I'm busy working for you. You know, it's just like kind of that old cliche. It's just, I don't know, they hit you so quickly over the head with a lot of exposition that you just kind of roll your eyes at some of the writing. But overall, I still think it's good. Like, the characters I think are well written as they develop throughout the 10 episodes, but they just try and do so much, and they do it a little too fast, in my opinion. It's not a huge problem or anything, it's not a deal breaker, it doesn't ruin the show or anything, and it doesn't even really hold it back. It's not that detrimental or anything, but it's something that just kind of stood out as a bit weaker than the rest of the components. You know, the visuals are on another level. They're popping off hard as fuck. And the soundtrack is always boner jams. The soundtrack is really good, and that's something you'll notice right away in episode 1. Like, as they're just doing things, like even just driving in the car, like with this conversation I was talking about, there's like a backing track to it, which is just like an actually great song that's lightly playing in the background, and it just adds a lot to the ambiance of the whole world. I really appreciated that. I think they did a great job with their music choice here. So yeah, overall the show's amazing. Plugging into the moist meter, I'm giving Cyberpunk Edge Runners a 90%. Really the biggest flaw with the show is it had too much for too little time. I want more from it. Like, I'm super invested in the universe now thanks to the show, and I would have liked to see it develop more across a longer runtime, like maybe 2 seasons to reach the conclusion that it reaches in the show here, instead of just have it be such a speed run almost. But regardless, the show is absolutely fucking fantastic. I think they did a great job with it, and yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
Oh, the one thing that Summer Poke actually was good.
God. I love it. I love Reddit. Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Let's
Ready?
watch Ben Shapiro Q&A transgender debate.
Okay.
Hey Ben, our Rainbow Roader.
Yeah, that.
What does
To
that even
railroader.
do?
Look.
It showed like a little crime scene outline of her.
So now she's in the next room.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to her.
I'm gonna beat her up. All of your progress to that point is shut up.
That guy fucking go in there. Here, Lyle, here's a little artsy thing for you. Have you noticed that not a single thing has a straight edge in this fucking world?
Luigi's pretty straight edge. He doesn't drink or do drugs because he's above that.
What I meant was everything is like skewed. It looks cooler than if not.
Yeah, that I actually didn't notice that, but now I noticed.
It looks way more fun.
Now I can't unnotice it.
And it even helps with the sort of twisted,
The twisted, demented nature.
The twisted, forking, demented fucking nature.
Fucking nature of Luigi himself.
Holds up fork, digs into my own ass, smiles.
Grabs fork out of hand, throws that window. Cut that shit out. This is a good roleplay. Keep it going.
Runs out window, grabs fork on the side of the road, gets hit by a car.
Watches you fly up in the air, get cut up into a million pieces by helicopter propellers.
Gets out of car, picks up fork. It's mine now.
Falls down into 200,000 cubes on the earth. Rains down.
50,000 rats run in, start scattering the cubes throughout the world.
Gets eaten in 2 seconds by the rats.
A million hawks fly down.
Did I ever tell you my idea for the cartoon about the mom bringing home the food for the kids for the birthday party?
No.
Like, it's a bunch of kids at a birthday party, like 10 kids around a dinner table.
Yeah.
And they're all like really hungry, waiting for the mom to come home, and the mom pulls up in an SUV. She like walks in with a monkey, and she throws it on the table, and they all start ripping it apart like it's a pizza. And it's going, ah! And they're like, oh, wait a minute. And they start pulling the fingers off and like taking bites out of it, like pull its eye off.
I don't think
some kid rips the head off and sticks it on the stick and starts like licking it, but his head dissolves like it's like their tongue's
Zach, I'm gonna be
real.
real with you here.
Yeah.
I would laugh at it, but I don't think 90% of people would. I think 90% of people would dislike that.
You don't think children would like? You don't think people would watch 15 children like eat a monkey in 10 seconds? It would literally be like 30 seconds long.
I'll be right back. I actually gotta use the bathroom really bad.
They would disavow it really quickly.
Look, all I'm saying is I would like it.
They take it to them and they go, and they pull it off. They eat it like spaghetti in 2 seconds. They start dipping it in sauce.
I'm not changing my stance on the matter.
Yeah, but you didn't know that they dipped it in sauce, though.
The ranch.
It's the Iron Giant.
Oh, by the way, I've been getting little pizzas lately, right? And I'm obviously late to the party because I never knew that dipping pizza in ranch tasted so damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat pizza that much, but what I do, look, if you're gonna dip it in anything, pizza and ranch is dead.
It's fucking beautiful.
It's a heart attack combination, but it's boy is it great.
Yeah, you'll get big fat titties like your Uncle Chris, but it'll be worth it.
Remember when you were a kid and you get pizza and it was like, whoa, pizza.
Here's the fucked up thing. I hated pizza as a kid.
Oh, what?
I thought it was gross.
What made you like it?
When I started living